All right, well, good evening, everyone. I believe we are now live. And I want to just welcome everyone to another Monday night live training on our TLC HQ Facebook channel. My name is Scott Bainey. It is Monday, April 22nd, and it's a fresh new edition of our retailers training. It's a two-part series. So this evening, I have the pleasure of interviewing one of our independent representatives. We call them life changers here at TLC. And the goal for tonight is just to get a little bit, to get to know a little bit about one of our leaders in the sales force, what she's doing to kind of conquer her retail game, and find out where she's from and a little bit about her work history and how Total Life Changes end up finding her. So as we build our audience here, it's pretty early still, it's 10:01. Just a couple of housekeeping notes, I guess, for anyone that's coming across this broadcast. We are a health and wellness company, and we call the people that share our products life changers because we truly are changing people's lives in one way or another. And we're just proud of the community that we're building. And we're excited to always feature someone in a two-part series on Monday nights, and they just really discuss, maybe they have a product testimony of their own. Maybe they have some business partners and they're just having fun finding people to share the products with and kind of building their retail customer base and building relationships. And that's kind of what we enjoy the most about this business. So if you would like to do us a favor, please go ahead and share this live broadcast. And we appreciate that. And if you come across it later and watch it again, I know it's going to be exciting because I'm excited. And I'm very excited to introduce tonight's guest. Her name is Kim Prosperity. Welcome tonight, Kim. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Big Banya, Scott Big Banya. I'm really honored. Can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm really honored that you are interviewing me tonight. I'm great. You?
Never felt better. The weather's finally starting to break here in Michigan, so that's something to get excited about.
Oh, that's right.
We deal with a lot of gray skies and cool weather, but that's kind of what makes us thick-skinned down here in Michigan. So we're proud of it. We're excited. And I'm excited to introduce you and find out a little bit more about you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's find out, who is Kim Prosperity? How did Total Life Changes find you, Kim? Just tell us a little bit about your background and your work history, and let our viewers get to know you a little bit.
Oh gosh. Okay, I've done a lot of things like most people in my age bracket, been through a lot of different industries and profession. Most recently though, I was in higher education in a position that required me to have a master's degree. And it's crazy to me that now I sell tea from home and make more than I did in that position. How I came about Total Life Changes was, like most people, I worked really hard. I followed that trajectory that everybody tells you to, right? Good grades, quote unquote, good job, which is really relative. And I was married, spending no time with at the time that I was started TLC, I was spending no time with my husband. I had waited for 5 years to have a child. When we finally had our child, I was then spending no time with my child. And it was just not the life that I signed up for. So I was actually with another company, like many people, you know, and it's funny because I had put on so much weight with the stress of work and everything that a friend actually gifted me a pack of tea as a thank you for a favor that I did for her. And I lost 7 pounds in 5 days. I joined the company simply because I had no money and I wanted to get the products for the cost that distributors get them for. So I was actually, to be honest with you, Mr. Banya, I was very rude to my sponsor. I was like, I'm not going to do your little tea business. I'm only doing this to save money for me. Oh yes. Like some of the stuff that some people decline you nicely, I wasn't that girl. So I was dead set on, being with my other company. That was my first company. So, it was like that, my first, type of feeling. And the crazy thing was I lost 20 pounds in 2 months with no effort, just using the products. And I'm from the South. I'm not like you. You're up north. I'm down here in the South. We don't eat, we grub. So I was still grubbing, taking my products, and I lost the weight. And people really started to notice, because a lot of people tell me it looks like I lost more than 20 pounds. And so people that weren't paying attention to the products that had been selling for years were now asking me about the products that made me lose the weight. So then it turned out that I did start to, ask the guy who was technically my sponsor, who I had blown off, hey, how do you do this? How do you do the business side? So guys, never give up on someone who is who declines you and is downright rude, because you never know. Does that answer your question?
I'm sorry, I was muted. You know what? I wrote down some notes, and the first thing I wrote down is authentic, because what I like most about hosting this call, interviews and things, is really just speaking with people and being genuine and authentic. And I appreciate you being open about that. It's pretty cool. And so you have your personal testimony, 7 pounds in your first 5 days, and then 20 pounds in your first 2 months. So
yes.
And I'm guessing more than just a few people started to ask you, what is going on, Kim? What are you doing? Now, so how did the breakup go? What did the breakup look like when you had to kind of divorce your former company?
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. And it was all because of me. The company was great. My sponsor in that previous company was great. And I was actually embarrassed. I'm breaking up. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
It broke up just for about 5-6 seconds.
Okay. All right. But you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But the breakup was horrible, not because of the company or because of my previous sponsor. I still have so much respect for both. But it was me. It was all my own mental turmoil. Like I said, that was my first company. I had a great sponsor. To this day, I still respect him greatly, and he has not made me feel bad about anything, but I just felt so bad about leaving that company. But what I really love about the profession, Mr. Bainu, is when you get around people that are professional, they understand. So my former sponsor, because I didn't even tell him I was leaving. And again, I tell people this all the time, this is really about growth. And so when I called him back a year later, and I apologized, I was just embarrassed that I was like quitting on that company, but I had to come where I was going to get the money. And I was getting the money in TLC. And when I called him a year later and I said, I didn't handle things right, but it was really all me, not you. Of course, he already knew that. And he said, I didn't do all those things for you so that you could win with me. I did all those things for you so that you could win, period. And then once I had that clarity, and once I released the guilt that I felt for the way I mishandled things in the previous company, then I really I was able to focus on my TLC business with a clear conscience and really start to do the things like I needed to do to operate with integrity. And like I said, with a peace of mind that I couldn't get any other way by owning up to my mess.
That's pretty cool. That's a great story. And I think that's something probably a lot of networkers can relate to, for sure. Some individuals in this profession, they do this, if they're in their 40s, they may have done this 5, 6, 7 times. And I'm sure not all those experiences were as blessed as the one that you had with your sponsor. That's a pretty cool story. And I don't know how many people could actually say that they've had that type of situation go so well, but that's cool. I mean, I think it's probably a credit to, your personality and your drive and your professionalism as well. So I think it goes both ways.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bainu.
Of course. So let's go ahead a little step further. So what I gather is not only are you a strong retailer, but you are networking, and are you building a team? If so, is it 50-50, 60-40? What are the numbers? Are you doing more retail, or are you trying to build more? Or is it a combination of both?
I retail more, way more. I recently started, and I was recruiting before because I'm not gonna lie, I make it look easy. I don't do anything I don't want to do. I don't talk to anybody I don't want to talk to. And I quickly weed out, stuff that is for me and it is not for me. So I mostly recruit through videos. And when people watch my videos, they can see, like, let's just be real, right? We talk about pounds and poop. Those are two of the most unattractive things for people to talk about. But what I found is that if you can make people laugh, if you can make them comfortable, then they let down their barriers, and then you can get to the real nitty gritty, like my grandma says. And so with shooting videos, I'm very conversational. I am me. Take me or leave me. I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not for me. And I'm cool with that. And when I was doing that, a lot of people would join me, but then they couldn't duplicate the videos. So I had some people join. I had some people leave. Now I'm really starting to, but retail was always, a good way for me to make some extra money. Now, last year, Mr. Banya, you and the corporate team with all y'all's good hair, y'all have really helped me out big time with all these Fun Friday deals, because that's allowed me to more flexibility to do more things for my clients as it relates to kicking my retail game up, which has allowed me to duplicate more things with the people that I'm recruiting so that the retention has stayed. But I'm definitely still more so a strong retailer. And with the recruiting, now I'm just working on how can I be the best example, because before I was just fly by the seat of my pants, do what I want to do, wake up when I want to wake up, whatever, as a retailer. But as a recruiter, now you got to not answer to people, but you got to support your team. Mm-hmm. You got to be there for people. So you can't just do whatever you want to do. And you got to keep your word. If you say you're going to train somebody at a certain time, you got to be there at that time. So I'm definitely getting more so into the recruitment. And again, thank y'all for the new sampling system that makes that so much better. And thank y'all for everything that y'all are putting in place. Even the recommendations that we give, I see them being implemented a lot quicker. Like, some people ask for suggestions just so that they can, I guess, feel good or say that they ask for suggestions. But I do, we have private webinars for certain groups of people and certain things where people that are active can give their input. And then you have another group and all these breakout sessions and convention, and you guys are actively implementing things. So that's definitely helped step up my retention game, because my team feels safer because they know that they're supported not just by me, but by y'all.
Nice.
Tell me if I talk too much, because I'm a rambler now.
No, you're doing well. I just want to back up. And one of my questions I have down is, how do you sample products? So do you sample a variety of products? Is it related to specials that you have going on personally? Are you using the instant tea sample mailers that we have available? Tell us a little bit about how are you sampling products before we kind of made this instant tea mailer available, and what is the effectiveness of that when working with, trying to reach customers?
Okay, so the first question I think you asked was, how was I sampling before the sampling system?
Yes.
Okay, the way I was sampled before the sampling system, I was like old school, feet on the streets. So I would have a car magnet, and people, the great thing about TLC, we've been around long enough that people know us, right? And they definitely know how our product looks. They definitely know our logo or our motto. So when I would have my car magnet with my before and after, TLC, lose 5 pounds in 5 days, people would literally stop me. I remember one time I was leaving Atlanta to Savannah, and I made $165 sale off the exit by the McDonald's, because they saw my car magnet. And so I was really just doing a grassroots, because we didn't have the sampling system. I would put sticky notes on gas pumps. I advise y'all not to put them anywhere else, because security will call you and you'll think it's a sale. but they'll be like, stop with all these sticky notes. I was talking to people. Security has called me. But I would just basically just be honest with people. I would wear something to rep my company, TLC, and you guys have always done a great job of coming out with new, like spunky gear. I'm happy that it's not, nerdy, boring stuff or ugly colors. This is how I talk, Mr. Banya. Okay. So, but yeah, y'all have done a good job of wearing stuff that I actually like, creating stuff that I would actually wear. And then when people ask me about it, I'm not a talk to everybody type of person, believe it or not. So I would always wear something to attract somebody to me. And then I also would have my before and after on everything. I would have it on cups. I would have my before and after on bags. I would have my before and after, like I said, the car magnet. Whatever, I could put my before, anything to make somebody say, is that you? And I'd be like, well, yes, it is. and then that would be how the conversation would start. And I would sample out, but only if somebody gave me their name and number. And I'm very firm with, and I'm happy that you guys have it in the system that they can't skip certain things. Mm-hmm. So, because too often people think, I'm just going to sample stuff. And then they become like this instant tea Santa Claus. That I'm not about that life. Okay. So I always tell my team, you let them know if you're going to sample them, they have to give you the information in return for you to at least follow up. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, Mr. Banger. Before the sampling system, and even now, what a lot of people will do, if you just give out a free sample willy-nilly, they'll take your sample. If they like it, they will go to YouTube and they will Google it. And they will go to Google and they will Google it. YouTube is owned by Google. So then guess who comes up in YouTube? Wow. And I can't tell you how many $200, $300, $400 sales I have gotten from clients who were like, some lady in the hairdresser gave me the product and I Googled it and then I found you and I placed the order and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's awesome. But
I tell you what I like about what you're saying. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no. You Mr. Banya.
You just made a very strong point that you have to place value on sampling your products. You have to place value on it because if you don't, they might take it out of courtesy and then find the first trash can. So placing a value is really extremely important. And in your case, no one's getting it out of your hand unless you get their contact information. And I've heard stories of even taking it a step further. Okay, I've got your contact information. Let me text you real quick so you have mine, making sure they get the alert. You can see it right on their phone. And if it's wrong, like, give me a sample back. Don't even try it.
Right. So, you doggone Skippy.
Mm-hmm. So talk about this briefly, because this might be part of next week's training, but after sampling, you got their information. How are you converting them to become customers? That's like the golden question.
Meet them offline, connect with them online. Because here's the whole deal. Like I'm just going to be real. Like we have great products, right? But we're not the only health and wellness company out there. We're not the only company getting results. It's less about the product and it's more about you. I tell people all the time, I don't sell tea, I sell me. So when I meet people, if I give them a sample, if I make a sale, whatever the case may be, I'm immediately like, are you on Facebook? If they're not on Facebook, I connect them to my YouTube channel. And you have to be a boss about it in the sense that people will say they're going to do things and they have the best of intentions, but everybody has 50 million things going on. So if the person is right in front of you, say, let me see your phone. And if you say it with a smile, you will be surprised. People be like, here. You'd be like, all right. You go to YouTube, you click, you go to your channel, you click like, and you be like, here you go. All right. Now listen, you on my YouTube channel, you're going to get my notifications when I upload. And what it does is it gives me time to drip on people passively without feeling like I'm harassing them or without them having to be like, what was that girl's name? Because I take people's phone all the time and I'll be like, okay, Facebook, I send a friend request. I make sure they follow me and I make sure that I'm see first. And then every time I do a Facebook Live, I'll be like, hey, y'all. And then they're like, oh, this is the girl I just met at Walmart. I'd be like, hey, girl. Yeah. And they think it's magic. It's not magic, but it's just, I firmly believe I have a mentor and he says, if you have something of value, then you have a moral obligation to convey to people the value of what it is you have in your hand so well that they happily give you the money in their pocket in return. And I love taking people's money because I know I have something valuable. And the only way I can make them understand the value is if I get in front of them constantly, like be top of mind, right? So I connect with people, and online, I document my day. Every single day, I document my day. I'd be like, I messed up with some cheesecake, but I got 2 packs of instant tea. And that makes people like me because I'm not your boot camp girl. I'm not going to sit out 47 containers and do a meal plan. I am who I am. And as I show people that throughout the day, it could be 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. I don't care because I ain't going nowhere. So they'll be like, you know what? I met you a long time ago and I'm finally ready. I'm like, well, come on, because I'm ready too. So I drip on them through social media. I mean, somebody's going to be on something. So I drip on them through social media, and I just make sure that I stay present. I'm a single mom, so I always have to make sure, how can I be everywhere while I'm still sitting at home? How can I talk to everybody while I'm talking to nobody but my son? And that's through duplicating myself with social media.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about I want to talk about your goals. So like some short-term goals or long-term goals. And it doesn't have to be financially. It can be really anything. What do you see you accomplishing, or what are you focused on in the next 3 months? And what are you focused on in the next 12 months?
Lately for me, it's really been about, well, we do have a movement with the company. I'm sure you're aware, the Boss Moms movement. And I'm just going to be very honest with you. I'm very open, in case you can't tell, but I'm very open. So I've shared my story in quite a few videos. And because of that, I've had quite a few women reach out to me, and they're in some pretty bad situations that they need to get out of with their spouses or their boyfriends. So there are some people that have come onto my team, and I'm just dead set on being of the highest value and service to those people to help them reach their goals. It's not about a rank for me or for them. It's about getting them the money they need to get out of that situation safely. And I will say this, I told you that when I started this journey, I was married. I'm divorced now. I divorced last year. It was horrible divorce. And the person who helped me move out of my marital home was one of my business partners. And she was, it's like the relationships. I'm so happy you guys started the whole 6 way that we get paid, because that feeling, it's not all the time about a system. It's about a sentiment that you have. Like, how do you make people feel? Not just your customers, but also your business partners. So, ranks are cool, but a lot of people do not know me in the company because I've never been one to chase a rank. Actually, I'm pretty low key. Give me the money. Give me the money. So I want to help my business partners that have recently joined get to the money to get out of their situations seriously. And then also, because I have a background in higher education, I really think it's horrible how we start, we're still selling the dream of, and I'm not trying to knock higher education, but I used to work, one of the departments I worked in was student financial aid. And I just think it's incredible and unbelievable how we are saddling kids with literally 6 figures in debt when they're most likely going to get a job that's not going to pay them that. And this is debt that they cannot, get out of. And this is before they have a kid. This is before they have a house. This is before they have a wife, husband. Like, they should be living it up, but they are like suffocating under. I've had some horrible conversations with people where they don't even want to get married because they have so much student loan debt, or they're making family tree decisions like, I'm only going to have 1 kid. Like, I'm going to stop my family name because I don't have the money for what? So between mothers and young people, I want to keep young people out of debt, and I want to let people know to search out options for, even if they have a great husband, the husband could get sick. It's not all the time about somebody treating you bad, but I want everybody to really take a serious look at the vehicle that we have here and be more proactive about utilizing it versus reactive. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's a great message. Thank you. Let me ask you, as we get closer to closing it out, I want to know from you, what can viewers expect next week from you? What would you like to focus on in next week's training?
Oh, I told you I'm a fly by the seat of my pants type of girl. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. Yeah. Y'all might never have me back on. We're definitely going to talk influence, because for me, I like the path of least resistance, and I really do feel strongly that we have great products. The testimonies, I think every single testimony that I hear, oh my gosh, it's like a deposit into my belief bank account. It's a deposit into my belief bank account. So when I'm talking to people, you can't tell me nothing. Okay. And then people buy that feeling. And I just want people to understand that you have to enjoy the journey and be patient in the process. And again, work on yourself more than you work on anybody else, because people are going to buy you. There's no Kimberly Prosperity tea, a director tea, and then, high grade ambassador tea. It's all the same tea. So if you're only advertising the tea and then people like the tea, well, what's going to stop them from buying from you and start buying from me? The tea is the same. So you are the difference maker, and everybody has something to offer. When I came into this company, there were a lot of people on YouTube. There were a lot of people cutting videos, and I was like, okay, they're going left, I'm going to go right, and I'm going to do little snippet videos, and I'm going to crack jokes, and I'm going to say the things that other people don't say, not in a vulgar way, of course, but just, I'm going to give people the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. I say it all the time. I'm not selling magical jumping beans on a flying carpet here. If you ask me a question, like one of my little taglines is, you can ask me anything because I'll tell you everything. And I love the fact that we have that satisfaction guarantee, because it really lets me boss up and be like, you got nothing to lose but to wait. And that's something too that I will say that a lot of people don't advertise. So the fact that I say it, I have so many clients who are like, I've been buying TLC for years and I never knew that. I have one young lady who had been through 6 TLC reps before me. 6. And we just really got to understand what it is we have in our hands and what we are supposed to be doing to serve the client. For me, everything pops off after the sale. I say it all the time. I love your money, but I really want your testimony. So that's what we're going to talk about next week.
That's sweet. Awesome.
Stop laughing at me, Mr. Banya.
I love it. You're on a roll. I love it. And I really look forward to next week as well. Anything else you want to say to sign off tonight?
No, I just think we really have to become professionals in this industry, and seriously treat people like you want to treat them, and understand that wherever you go, there you are. So I mean, it doesn't matter if you got 5 ways to get paid, 50 ways to get paid, 5 million, 200, 300, whatever. I don't care how many ways you get paid. If you don't get paid on the first one, usually you can't unlock the others. And sales is mostly about consumer behavior and human psychology. The more you learn about people, mainly yourself, the better you're going to do with your client base, and then the better you're going to do with your team. It's a trickle-down domino effect. And there you have it, folks. Prosperity. Thank you very well. Thank you for taking it out. And I don't know, I'm excited. You said so many great things. I look forward to next week. And I want to thank everyone for joining us live, of course, and anyone that comes across the video and may not know of Kim Prosperity, they know you now, and hopefully they look forward to hearing from you next week. So just God bless everyone. Have a magnificent evening, and I'll see you next week. Kim, thanks so much for taking the time. Thank you. I appreciate you as well, and thank everybody for watching. Awesome. Take care, everybody.